Alright, so I thought I'd switch gears here a little bit and head to Eden Nova, the Laythe colony. So, because of a peculiar malfunction on the ship on our way out here, that the analysts have since discovered was an act of sabotage. What happened was during the interplanetary stage, one of our fuel tanks spontaneously exploded. Look at this guy sleeping on the job. Now, originally the ship was supposed to be, the ship that carried this here, was supposed to remain in orbit with 3 crew members. These 3 crew members that you see hanging onto the deck here. What do we got? We got Samson. Samson, bitch! Let's see. Hallbro and Malric. So these intrepid fellows actually landed in this, the Exodus Drive Mark II, which is what we just seen docking up there recently. Now, interestingly, the engine fucking blew off that thing, or one of the empty fuel tanks exploded just as it emptied for some reason, and it was the upper fuel tank that exploded, one of 4, throwing the whole thing into an unbalanced fucking mess. There we go. Yeah, that's right. So, just a little recap, I guess, as we're driving here. So the tank blew off, and not knowing if there were going to be a cascade of failures, Singularity, Aerospace, Innovations, or Psycorp decided, the command at Psycorp decided that it would be best if the ship was simply ditched altogether, abandoned, since all the way out here, there's, look how small the sun is out here. Since all the way out here, there's very little that you can do to fix, a large interstellar ship. And it was unknown whether that there'd be more failures. That was supposed to be the basis, or the first part of a space station. But of course, those plans were cut short, because, who wants to build, wants the first part of their space station to be a faulty piece of equipment? And these guys weren't too comfortable with hanging out up on a ship that was randomly exploding for no reason, part by part. There we go. We get the beautiful backdrop of Jewel. Yes. Something very comforting about a big green ball in the sky for these little dudes. I think it reminds them of Kerbal titties. So, we actually landed back here, and I've driven this module all the way to here, and we got to get all the way to here. Now, the only problem is to do that, I got to cross this great big fucking crater, which is where I am headed now. I'm headed up to the lip of this thing just to kind of poke around and see. I think I might actually opt to drive around it, because I think it is going to be far too... Yeah, I just get the feeling as it's far too massive to, or far too steep of a incline for this thing to head into as well. if we look quickly, we can see it's 37.34 fucking tons. And I didn't realize this at the time, but these tires, even are like this. These tires are at the very fucking maximum of what they're going to handle here in terms of weight. So if I bump and jostle and turn too sharp, I blow the tires out on it. And I mean, since we've landed, we've been see. This is actually a great fucking place just to set up shop, and I've been tempted half a dozen times just to simply plop this thing down. Look at that. That's the view from the cockpit. It's kind of scary because you can't see fucking nothing. Don't know if your tires are, bending and breaking, and yeah, so I prefer the magic view. So these poor little guys actually do not have a home. There's no room. All these pods are full. Right, so all along I was saying 22 guys, 22 guys, 22 guys, and then I was forced to bring these poor three bastards down to the surface with me, making it 25 guys. Yeah, let's check our. Look at that, a balmy -3 degrees. And 0.6 atmospheric pressure, so not bad at all. So I don't know if you've actually seen the top of this thing once I removed all the parachutes and everything, because I had them all on decouplers. So simply blew the decouplers, and the only parachutes left are these ones up top here. I don't think I've repacked them yet. But I will do that. We're moving at about 19 meters a second. This is, about as fast as you want to have this thing going, because if you notice, it's already got a bit of speed wobble to it. So, yeah, not the most ideal way for these poor little dudes to travel, but there's absolutely no room aboard anywhere else for them. So they're actually kind of safe. They're protected up here on their. This guy, however, now I could have him up there, but this guy has, he's a mechanic, so. He's kind of hanging out down here on the ladder, keeping an eye on the tires. It was never expected that we were going to ever drive far. Maybe just a couple 100 meters or something to get ourselves onto a flat terrain. It just felt too silly to leave. Like I landed it over here with the intent on parking it out here somewhere on the edge, but this whole area here is extremely hilly, like way too hilly to park this thing and leave it there. Driving around was extremely difficult, and I actually want this down by the water because while there's lots of moisture, while these guys can generate water with the equipment they have on board, it'd be a lot easier if they were next to the ocean and all they had to do was desalinate the water instead of basically reclaiming it from wet soil, which is what they're doing right now, baking wet soil to create steam, and then condensing the steam back into water. The process, of course, distills water, making it pure, and gives them a good pure fluid for coolant for this thing as well. Because we actually fucked up, and we were supposed to have 4 full tanks of RCS to use as coolant, and we would just circulate it through the system and replenish it as need be. But things didn't happen exactly the way they should have, and during our descent stage, the module that was connected to this docking clamp, which was also connected, so there was an engine drive under this thing with RCS tanks and fuel and engines, and at the end of it was actually this that's just a lander. It's just a pod, actually, a 3-man pod with parachutes. So that was at the end of the fuel stacks under here, and because we had, we were never planning on taking that command module with us. We were just planning on taking the engine drive that was docked under here. And during the descent stage, unfortunately, with the command pod, because I had already tested this and it worked fine before, but the command pod added too much extra weight, and it actually broke the drive stage off of this thing during descent. So because it was supposed to use that to do a semi-assist powered landing, so I'd come in, aero brake, and once I got through, once I slowed down enough that I wasn't burning up anymore, I was going to use the engines to adjust my landing site to over here, and then do the final landing with the parachutes. But with of course, the unforeseen addition to 3 more crew members, along with the command module, which I kind of regret not trying to dock it onto. Actually, no, these are junior ports, so it wouldn't have mattered, because I do believe, yeah. So yeah. Well, I do regret not being able to take that pod with me. It would have been, there's certain, that's the only time I really start thinking about mods, because there's a robotic arm mod that has a robotic arm that has a magnetic end on it that you can use to pick things up, and I would have simply picked that pod up and docked it upside down onto this docking port, which is large enough to fit it. And I would have put those 3 guys in it, flipped it around, stuck it up there, and then carried them along. And I mean, if there were robotic stock parts, I would have totally have done that. But because who would not have a robotic arm on their base? I mean, that's just ridiculous. But alas, there are no stock robotic arms, and I'm a bit of a purist. The thing about mods is that while some of them are really cool, there's always parts and things that are kind of cheaty, I guess is the word people use. I'm just looking at these struts here. For some reason, the ones here broke. I think when it landed, they flexed too much and snapped because the landing legs were down. But the reason why they're connected across like this was because I have fully intended to blow the legs off of this. You see they're on docking ports on the end here. I have fully intended to blow the docking legs off and just park this thing with the parking brake. And look, we've blown a tire. And we're on a hill. Great. Get up here on the flat. Good old Samton will hop off the ladder there and fix us up. Alright. Put on the parking brake. So, of course, you want to be really careful. With something like this, because it's a lot of parts, it's a lot of physics, you know. So, you want to be doing a lot of saving. And I realize that with, well, you really, really, really want to save on the flat terrain, so the game doesn't accidentally load part of your vehicle in something, because that's lame. So it's only one tire, so we actually don't need to lift the landing legs. It's one tire. The weight of all the other, or the weight is distributed enough on all the other tires that, but you will see this pop up slightly. There you go. See how big of a difference one tire makes, right? So if I lose a couple of tires, the first thing that hits the ground is that docking port, which is perfectly fine with me, but unfortunately it jars this thing and breaks the fucking the command module off of the pod here, which is not cool. So he'll take up his vigil once more on the ladder. Hey, babe. It's supposed to rain again.
Tomorrow.
Good.
Thunderstorms and stuff.
That's fantastic.
Apparently, anyway.
There we go. All 4 tires. Or however many tires I got on there. 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Oh, the great white belly stirs. Hello, it's Scott Manley. What's the other guy? The other British guy. Hello, it's Macy. Macy here. Stay right along this ridge, and then we'll hang a right. Maybe we'll take the ridge right to the top. That's where we're headed, over here in this bay. Actually, no, it's a lie. We're headed over here. This bay. Break some more tires while I wasn't paying attention. Yep. Always happens. Every time I go to a map, go to the map, you know, I'm not paying attention for a second, I break a fucking tire. Same damn one too, I think. So of course this is all in preparation of
You just want to lay in the sunbeam.
healthy sunbeam.
So some sun into his great white belly.
Yeah. The great white solar panel.
Yep. That's all.
Okay, so we get to the top of this little hump here. We'll stop and fix our tire again. Which is why he stays on this ladder. So,
God's sakes.
what's wrong, Love?
Cord's stuck behind the fucking stove now.
What?
Of the cat dish?
Oh. Why'd you do that? Just leave it, I'll get it after. I think I might actually start traversing the rim of this thing here. Sarah,
Nah.
I love you.
I love you too. I love you too. How you doing?
Uh-oh. 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 What happened? We have another blowout? Yeah. Same fucking tire. That is unreal. Why the fuck does that keep blowing out? Peyote, you managed to get that far?
Mm-hmm. That's all.
He's like, oh, the sunbeam is so warm. So sleepy. I'm not gonna make it.
Oh, maybe 1 foot.
The hell? Apparently I can plant a flag now. Couldn't plant flags before with these guys. But apparently now they can plant flags. Interesting. Well, we'll plant a flag once we get to our final destination. They use, because there's two guys on this one tire, or one guy on this tire. I don't know. Wish it would fuck off though. Pretty good headlights, hey? The only thing I kind of regret not doing is throwing some solar panels on top of this. I started doing it, but I realized that to make it look cool, I'd have to use so many that it would probably weigh more than fucking 6 mainsail solar panels. But, you know, when you're driving around, because again, like I said, I never intended of fucking driving this thing a fucking quarter, like maybe a kilometer. I thought maybe, you know, I'm pretty good at landing things, you know, in atmosphere. I don't fucking nail it 100% every time. And I usually do have to quick load once or twice, but I mean, it is super fucking hard trying to, because right now there is no way to, you know, there's no maneuver node system for the atmosphere, right? There's no way to maneuver through the atmosphere. Okay, so I'm actually gonna top this rise here. And I'm gonna cut up through this valley. See, unfortunately, I can't save. I don't have the drive around these things, but again, why play a simulation if you're, you rather meet the developers halfway, kind of a thing. Now, this is fucking super sketchy. The weight's not evenly distributed. I got a lot of weight on this tire, and this tire, and this tire. Easily have a blowout. When you're going down a hill like this, a blowout would be fucking catastrophic. And I mean, like, I've built a lot of things, I've wiped out a lot of things, but I've never built anything that, see, I just would have had a horrible accident then, if those were real rocks. Right now, you can turn what they call the terrain scatter. You can turn the terrain. That's what all this blinkety blink is all about. You can turn the terrain scatter on and off. Right now, it's just a visual thing. Wow, that handled admirably down that hill. And again, the green jewel. Well, I was going to say the green jewel named Jewel, but yeah. The Emerald Mistress. Thread the needle. Keep checking the tires. I mean, it's usually pretty obvious when you have a blowout. Yeah. I don't know how interesting this particular video is for you. Look, blowout. Same fucking tire. Oh boy. I'll have to fix it once we get further up. Too much weight sitting on the back of this thing. To repair it, you'll repair it and it'll immediately break again. It kind of pops into existence and it's being, it's having the life crushed out of it, so. Oh boy. Oh boy. Too quick. Oh boy. We are in trouble. We are in trouble. Emergency. Fuck. Fuck, 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 fuck. Now, is he going to be able to fix this, or am I going to have to risk opening the landing gear? Yep. Ooh, fuck. You can see how quickly things can go awry. Probably not a good idea to be standing under a fucking 30-ton module like that. Walk around underneath. Just checking the oil. Hopefully, when I drop back down, it doesn't immediately blow the fucking tires out because of the angle we're on. Only one. That's really good. So we'll probably blow a couple out going up over this thing. Nope. Okay. So that's a much nicer grade. You actually don't even have to be super close to them to fix them. Again, it's like, you know, you meet the developers halfway on the simulation. Okay. I head straight up through here. Well, I actually want to be heading that way. So coming to a drop here. Want to slow her down. So that's the key, just slow and steady.
Hang on, baby.
Some of these terrain features, of course, are only visual. A lot of these squiggles, you know, of course, they look like, you know, lumpy sand dunes that you're gonna go flying over, you know, like fucking moguls or speed bumps or something. But they're only they're only painted on the flat textures anyway, so they're no more of effect to you than the train scatter or the rocks here. Have you noticed the rocks on Laythe are different than any of the other moons or planets I've been on? They look very porous. Perhaps there's rock worms on Laythe. So I'm going to take this thing to the top of this rise here if I can. No destroying the fucking thing. Probably gonna have to go up through here, or maybe here. Doesn't look so steep. Yeah, go up through there. It looks good. So we're gonna get ballsy here and put on some physical time acceleration. And immediately, the first thing you'll notice is that it pushes the fucking suspension way down on this thing, and it's so easy to fucking spin out when you're driving it with under physical time acceleration. And you don't want to go any faster than 20 normally, which, you know, means that 10 is a dangerous speed to be zipping around at. Because with the, of course, with the physical time acceleration, everything is fucking everything is greatly exaggerated. So every turn you make is a, you know, a little tiny adjustment turns into a sharp jerk, and you know, suddenly you find your thing. And it seems like I'm missing a tire. Same one again. Obviously, obviously that particular tire is a little lower down than the rest of them for some reason. Just fuck up with the build. Going to put the brakes on here, climb these guys down, and that'll be the end of this video. Sarah's watching something there. Alright, later.